Hey everyone, and welcome to Lead Your Social Distancing Learning, Part 2. Today I'm going to start a short mini-series for the next couple episodes. We're going to walk through one of my favorite rivers, the Wells River in Vermont. And today we're going to start with the first rapid, Brett's Mom. But before we do, of course, you have to start off this river usually with a seal launch. So our boater in the red boat is going to be Noel Siegert paddling the Walk of Stout, and it's going to be me in the Piranha Ripper. So we see Noel is going with the right line. Gonna take him a little bit, but once he starts going, he's good using that paddle to get off, and a little bit of a slow drop. I always recommend this left line, especially if you're feeling more confident. I get a pretty good line, but hit the bush at the end and kind of slows down my speed. But if you notice, I do a good job trying to tuck my knees up towards my chest, and the bow still dips down, but not like straight down. Especially when it's low water, you don't want to go straight down because you can just hit the dirt, and it's just not fun. So the first rapid, Brett's Mom, is located under this bridge right where you park. Before you start going, I would definitely recommend walking down the river right side a little ways, because then you can look back up at the rapid and see what there is to see. We're going to be talking about scouting in a later video. But for now, I just wanted to mention that that's a good place to scout. And because today I want to talk about picking your lines and sticking with it, and some things that you want to think about then. So when we talk about scouting, I'll talk a little bit more about how you pick your lines. But today, I just want to show you this. So the start here is a little bit flat water. It's a good place to get warmed up. There's this tree here. Shout outs to Rory for helping me remove some of the tree limbs so that it's not as dangerous of an entrance. Still avoid it. But this is the first rapid, and we're going to see Noel go down first. Essentially what this rapid is between the left and center pylons of this bridge. It's a couple of boulders that water sort of pours over, and they all kind of come to the center, and there is a hole in the middle. The hole is nothing like super retentive, but all the water pushes you into it, and since it's very aerated there, you tend to sink pretty deep into it and then pop up, and whether it's right side up or upside down is a harder thing to manage. So with this one, I typically like to go off of the left side, avoiding the hole, and we're going to watch Noel go first. So we're going to see him start, and he's angled a little bit to the left, so it looks like he's aiming for that same thing. He's going to start going, and right there, he sort of gets pushed a little bit more to the right, but still, we'll see him pretty much skip past the hole. So he goes, a little bit of a splash at the end, but nothing much. So now we're going to see from first person's perspective of me trying to do the same thing. So you're going to notice I want to build up some right to left momentum to go across the rapid and then end up to the left of the hole. And we're going to go. And we see just that. Awesome. So I'm just going to bring it back a little bit, point out a couple things. So as you can see here, down a little bit to the right of me is that hole. As you can see, it's fairly big. It's, again, not super scary, but you just kind of sink into it and then pop up. And as you can see, there's a lot of flat water afterward to roll, so it's not too bad. Another thing you can see as we're looking here, wow, my hand is always in the frame, is on this left side here, there are several curlers, and a curler is what we define as like this little bit of water that's coming up and sort of coming back towards you, because the water sort of is curling back towards you. So in this case, they're sort of angled from left to right. And in any case of, most river features, especially things like curlers and holes, you want to be what we call teed up to it. So, your boat wants to make a 90-degree angle with that. So if the curler were straight across the river horizontally and coming straight at you, you'd want to point straight downriver, because that is the most effective way to get through it. In this case, they're at a diagonal going from left to right. So what I'm doing is I'm angling my boat right to left to meet it at a 90-degree angle there, which means I'm not going to get pushed too far to the right, because these curlers kind of want to stop your momentum and then slide you with them from left to right, which we see is going into that hole. So for me to try to avoid that hole, if I were going straight down on the left side, even though I'm on the left, those curlers are going to start moving me from left to right. So in this case, I'm actually starting more on the right of the hole and then coming right to left, because I want that momentum to go across those curlers and avoid that hole. So we're going to see just that. I start right, go left, and I kind of push right over those curlers. You see the bottom one kind of pushes me back a little bit to the right, but that's okay. I'm already significantly left of that hole. We actually got 2 laps in on this day. We can see second lap a little bit less cloudy, sun's out. Nice thing. We're going to see Noel and I pretty much do the same line again. So we're going to see Noel go first. I'm a little bit farther behind, so we're not going to get a great look, but we see him go. And actually, if you notice, shout out to Noel, does a great job, but I just want to point out, if you notice kind of the body position he has, you can see sort of where the curlers inevitably that are going left to right sort of push him to the right. So we see him go, and we see him start accelerating to the right more, and we see him splash up through that hole. And we're going to see me sort of do the same thing. I don't get the same good start that I did last time, and we're going to see some of the later curlers that are a little bit stronger push me more to the right. I luckily am far enough left that the hole's not going to be a problem for me, but I land more in it than I did last time. So that's some things to think about picking your line, about how do I need to set up my momentum left to right or right to left to punch through some curlers or other features. And great thing below Brett's is, if the conditions are right, you're able to practice this technique right here. It's very important. Up, a little bit of a catch on the branch, but I got it. Now we're going to see Noel go for it. A little bit hard to see because it's a little bit farther away, but not bad. Seemed pretty good. That's definitely an important technique. I think equal amounts that you're trying to practice punching through these curlers, you should be trying to practice, tossing your paddle up a little bit higher each time, because pretty soon you're going to be out there on the river and you want to look pretty sick when you toss your paddle over something super high and catch it. No one wants to be that beater that loses their paddle in the tree branch. So hopefully this was informative. Tomorrow we're going to go over in the next video the next rapid of the wells, which is sweetness. So I'll see you guys then. Thanks.